Hi there, I'm Rod Bergeron, and welcome back to another quick and easy watercolor painting. Today we're going to, something that I see quite often when I'm out for a walk in the morning is this little area not too far from my home, and I use it for a lot of inspiration for a lot of the work that I do. And the reason is it just sort of constantly changes, and so I find that really super interesting. And it changes, sort of all summer long it changes, and then in the fall it changes. Certainly in the winter it kind of stays the same all winter long, but I find it fascinating that it just constantly evolves. So I put some blue across the top there. I left some white space open. See how that's starting to bleed down there now. And I'm going to make a little bit of a swoop coming across here. We're not going to do too much more to it than just that. I am going to take this brush now. I'm not going to rinse it out. I'm going to pick up some Payne's gray right from the palette. So this would be dry on wet. So my brush I didn't pick up any extra water, and you see I just put my brush right into the paint, so that would be dry. All right, so let's keep going here. All right, so I'm going to take my #1 watercolor brush, and I've sharpened one end of it here. We're going to put a little bit of sort of like a thicket, we would call it here in Canada, but I don't know, like deep, thick brush. We're just going to put a little bit of that like that. And I'm going to take this brush again, and I'm going to pick up a little bit more Payne's gray. I'm just going to make it even darker in there and just make some more long lines coming out of that. All right, that's great. So now we're gonna take this same brush. We're not gonna rinse it out or anything. We're gonna take this and we're gonna put it into our yellow ochre, and we're gonna get that kind of a real mixture of colors going on in there. That's nice. Same thing here. Touch that a little bit. All right, so we have a real good mixture of colors going on there. I'm going to rinse my brush out, pick up some green here, just touch that in a few places like that. We're going to let that all just mix together here. I'm rinse my brush out again, and now I'm going to pick up some sienna here. And I'm going to touch this in a few places. Let that sienna just all run together in there. Nice, that's picking that up pretty nicely. Look what's happening to our sky up there. That's going pretty cool. All right, pick up a little bit more sienna and put it across here. And now I'm going to take this brush. Again, I'm not going to rinse it out. I'm going to go right into the sienna this time. Very strong color. Touch it in a few places. Now we're going to put some very strong color across here in a few places. And then we're going to, once again, scribe out of those. Kind of keep your marks just moving all the time. All right, so we're going to take this brush, rinse it out. We're going to pick up a whole bunch of yellow ochre, maybe mix it up into this wash that I had here earlier, but we're going to get a lot of pretty strong color. I'm going to pick up a little bit more water here. Okay, and then in one swoop, we're going to go from one side to the other. Okay, so pick up as much yellow ochre as you can, and then one swoop, and you'll see all those colors start to come down, and the other colors will start to move up. Okay, I'm going to go across there one more time. I'm actually going to pick up some more very strong yellow ochre, and I'm just going to introduce it in a few places like that. Look what's happening to our tree line back there. That's all right. Okay, so I'm going to take this yellow ochre. put it into a few places there. And yeah, we got some really great color mixing going on there. All right, so we need a little bit more strong color in this. So I rinsed my brush out. I knocked most of the water off it. And I'm gonna pick up this sienna. I'm gonna touch it in a few places. Not too many. And then where that strong color is, I'm gonna scribe out of that. And you see how fast I'm kind of moving along very, very fast. I'm gonna rinse that off, knock most of the water off it, and I'm gonna pick up my Payne's Gray once again. I'm gonna touch some of these places. Just across the bottom of some of these with the Payne's Gray. Nice. Maybe one or two more here. I think right in here. Touch that with a little bit more Payne's Gray. And I'm just going to scribe a few things out of there. A few black things out of a few other places. Yeah, we got a really great line going across the back there. All right, one last thing. I'm going to pick up a little bit of salt and just, you know, for a little bit of a dramatic effect, drop a little bit of salt into a few places, not everywhere. All right, and then just knock the rest of it off my hand. All right, let's let this dry and see what happens. All right, let's have a look at this. Look at this salt is done right here. And look at that first bit of paint that I put in there and how it's made that look like trees way off in the distance. And then this little resting area right here, again, the same with these trees way off in the distance. And the salt here has made this fantastic little line. And salt does some wonderful things to watercolor and watercolor paper. Look at how it makes those, it makes it that look like there's tops on those trees and that these are the, you know, that these are the main branches of the tree coming up. And then all of this little area across here, what happens when we put our mat on here? I'm gonna tell you, I think this is one of the best ones that I've ever done, honestly. I think it's really, really interesting to me. There's a really good balance of light and dark. There's a really good bunch of color combinations going on in here. Although you can't really see it, it kind of looks like a little bit of, you know, green across here. And all of these red and yellow ochres. Yeah, I think those turned out great. I'd love to know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments section. As always, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know where you're from. So if you could drop me a line and let me know where you're from, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're currently a subscriber, thanks a lot. If you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Yeah, I think that really turned out well for me.